Welcome to another episode, ladies and gentlemen, of Straight Shooting Sports Talk. And as always, I'm your host, Dujane Bland. And today, we're talking NFL. We're going to start with our Thursday night game, looking at the Colts and the Titans. Now, the Colts are 6-3, coming off a pretty demoralizing loss against the Rams. I mean, the Rams did everything they could. Offense, defense, special teams took care of business. Texans coming off a pretty, I wouldn't say it's an embarrassing loss because the Jacksonville Jaguars have been playing their butt off and just been just away in some area of not winning the game. Team was hungry. They lost Jake Locker. Things went downhill from there, and Jacksonville gets the win. Now, when you look at these two teams, Indy coming off that embarrassing loss at home. And then we have the Titans, who are coming into this game without their quarterback, Jake Locker, and will be starting Ryan Fitzpatrick, a guy who can sling the ball around pretty well. He does a pretty decent job as long as there's not a lot of pressure, but this guy's going to throw his share of interceptions. What the Titans need to do is lean on CJ. Chris Johnson, give him the ball. I think last week, 12 carries, 30 yards, unacceptable. They need to be able to lean on this guy and give Fitzpatrick a little bit of a comfort zone there and allow him to not have all the pressure on him. Now, we know what Andrew Luck and this football team can do and is capable of, and it's the same thing on that side of the ball. They need to get the run game going. Donald Brown has been pretty effective. Trent Richardson hasn't been the guy that I think a lot of people thought he was going to be going to Indy, but they have to get that run game going and allow things to open up. And hey, BABEH has got to catch some balls. He's a big feature in this offense next to T.Y. He's got to get it going, got to start coming down with some catches and stop having brick hands. Totally, it's going to come down to defenses, and I think this Colts defense is going to get after Fitzpatrick and enable them to get some turnovers, and turnovers is going to be the key in this game. And I see Indy win this game on Thursday night. I don't know if it's going to be much of a game towards the middle and end, but it should be a good game at the start. Really don't know what we're going to get from Fitzpatrick, but we'll see. But I'm taking the Colts in this one to bounce back and become 7-3 in their division. Now we're going to take a look at some matchups coming up this Sunday. We're going to start with the Lions and the Steelers. Lions coming off, or little brother coming off of that win against the Chicago Bears. Going to be taking on the Steelers, 3-6, struggling a bit. I'm taking the Lions in this one. I think we all know why. Old defense, Megatron, it's slaughterhouse. Next game, Falcons and Buccaneers. Very, very interesting game. My heart tells me that the Falcons should be able to win this game, but the Bucs are a hungry football team and seem to be able to plug in whoever they want at that running back position. Again, suffering another injury at running back, having to plug another guy in. I know they weren't able to sustain it all and be able to really close games, but I believe that this team is hungry. They're showing that they're hungry, and I think they beat the Falcons in this football game. I'm taking the Bucs in this one. Next game, Cards and Jaguars. Very tough game, and we saw what the Jacksonville Jaguars have been doing over the last couple of weeks. It's been very interesting. They've played pretty inspired football despite losing. Get the first win. Cardinals seem like they're starting to get a little bit of cohesiveness. I like what Carson Palmer's doing. I'm going to stick with the Cardinals in this football game. Next, we're talking about the Raiders and the Texans. Raiders, I thought, would have been a little bit better. Seems like they're not finding the weapons on the outside. McFadden, in or out. Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Does he want to play? Does he not want to play? Very confusing over there. Terrell Pryor's done a halfway decent job, but I just don't think it's enough. I'm going to go with Case Keenum. The hot man. I know they haven't finished football games. I think it has a lot to do with Wade Phillips, but I think they win this football game here. Last but not least, Bears, Ravens. Bears 5-4, getting kicked in the balls by a little brother. Taking that loss last week, I felt they should have put McCown in there. It was obvious that Cutler was hurt. McCown starts this game. We saw what he did over the last couple of weeks. I expect the same thing again. McCown's consistent. He's going to find his targets. They're going to run the football consistently, and he's going to use his legs when needed. This Bears team bounces back against a shaky Ravens team this week. I am taking the Bears. And that's a look at some of the action around the league on Sunday. Now we're going to take a look at another intriguing matchup. The New Orleans Saints versus the San Francisco 49ers. They look at New Orleans coming off a beatdown. They completely Zorro'd the Cowboys, putting up 600 plus yards of offense, and they were very, very balanced. Breeze 392 in passing yards, 4 touchdowns. He clearly could have gotten 400 yards of passing, but they let their foot off the gas, kept giving it to Ingram. I think that's the best Ingram's looked in a New Orleans Saints uniform in his entire career. Probably had something to do with the defense, but they looked very balanced against the Cowboys on Sunday night. If you look at the 49ers, Kaepernick, 91 yards of passing, an interception. Frank Gore was the featured back, taking most of the workload and really was the only bright spot on that football team last week. And they're coming into a game where this is Drew Brees, and Drew Brees finds whoever he wants to get the ball to. Rob Ryan had an excellent day calling plays for that defense, completely shutting down Tony Romo and Des Bryant. And now we have a struggling 49ers team coming in here. And I really am concerned about the 49ers. Kaepernick been struggling the last couple of weeks, really didn't look very well last week. And now they're going to go up against a Rob Ryan defense that has been hungry, been attacking quarterbacks, and been doing whatever they have to do to get the ball back for their offense. They're getting guys off the field. I mean, what more can you ask for from a football team? The fact that the Saints are on a roll, that's why I have to pick them. The 49ers, I like Colin. I know that he has the ability to run that read option game. But you got to complete passes. Guys got to step up in the wide receiver core and give this guy some help. Vernon Davis was pretty much a non-factor. And if the other guys on the outside aren't going to help Colin, and you're going to look to Vernon Davis for everything, well, you know what? They'll just key on that, let you run the ball, and make Colin do whatever he has to do to make plays. And it's not always going to be that running around and making a play or running the ball and getting yards down the field out of that read option. They're doing whatever they have to do to make this team one-dimensional, and I see Rob Ryan scheming up some kind of crazy concoction to stop the 49ers in this football game. I think there's no way that the Saints can lose this football game. That's why I'm taking them here. Well, man, we thank you guys for watching this show. As we've been saying all the time, you got something to say? Shoot us an email to straightshootingst@gmail.com. Comment on the bottom of this show if you got something to talk about what we're saying here on this show. We'll keep the dialogue going with you. And as always, always subscribe to the show, man. Subscribe to this show. No drama, no spin. We just tell it like it is, baby. Straight shooting sports talk.